You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Sean Paul Leck.
Together we are Rohit Raju. And like we promised, we're live for the second time in a row, and it's time to talk about Impact No Surrender. A pretty nice pay-per-view, like a lot of emotions, lots of like matches, lots of different types of matches, different also like performance in this kind of matches, because we got to see intensity, we got to see like quickness, we got to see speed. So I like this overall. I feel that like these shows are like the only thing a little too long. A little too long, but other than that, like a lots of matches, but despite that, a pretty good show.
Yeah, this pay-per-view, it suffers from the same thing like a lot of WWE ones do, where it's too long because they feel they got to put everybody on the card, and you don't have to. This pay-per-view would have been a lot better if you would have just trimmed off some of like the fat, some of the bullshit matches. But I mean, overall, for what Impact does, I thought this was a solid pay-per-view. And to me, the main event is kind of, what did it. And that's, Tommy Dreamer. They were telling, not just in the main event, but throughout the whole pay-per-view, little interviews and stuff, telling his whole story.
Oh yeah, it was good. Like, it's like I don't know if he's gonna retire. Did you get that vibe, or is just to like pay homage to Tommy Dreamer?
No, because I don't think they would have ended it the way they did, which we'll talk about the ending when we get there. But no, I think he's still going to wrestle.
Yeah, so, thank you so very much, family, for being with us in this, initiative that we have. We love you. We love the support. We love the subscription. So please keep doing so. Just, right there. Click the subscription bell and the bell for all notifications. Thank you so very much. Don't forget to check out Jean Paul myself did this last night live also. So thank you.
Do you have the picture of Kevin Owens where he was calling me out? Or
no?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he's like, tell them to watch SmackDown, and I'm like, all right, Kevin, I'll tell you. Yeah, we had legit Elimination Chamber build. While I said it did feel very rushed, we could have got some of the qualifying matches next week. We have the entire card set out. Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Baron Corbin, the Great Liberator, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, and my pick to win it. I wish, but it'll be Kevin Owens anyway. Antonio, don't call me Lucius Cesaro.
Yes, Antonio Cesaro. Like, hopefully they do a swerve, but like, yeah, Kevin Owens still coming up to Roman Reigns. So please check that out. It's right there in the channel for you guys. But let's start with like also No Surrender. Impact gave us like this is like, and we're gonna start with like it's not porn, because you guys might think that.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so very much for the ones watching. Triple XL and Tenille Dashwood going against DK. Like this, I feel that like every time that they just put Tenille there is just to like have her show, she's beautiful, the WWE days, Emma. And I mean, a decent showing for like Larry B and also like AC Romero. But like DK, like I like Rosemary and Crazy Steve, and now they have the Black Bull or Black Taurus, I want to shout out Katrin Stunts. Like she's friends with him. So there you go. I feel that like the magic was just quick, and like I don't think that like it serves any purpose though, for more than just put like eyes to like on Black Bull.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they were trying to do, I mean, they kind of got him over a little bit, but then to me, I thought they killed his his whole credibility by making him goofy, and he's like, oh, I'm going to chase the Matador, oh, like, let me chase you because you have the, the red, cloth or like whatever.
The cape.
Yeah, red cape, and he was chasing him, and it's like, dude, you're not actually a bull. Like, you're just wearing a mask.
It's like,
so let me. Yeah, and I had to go a little Jim Cornette there, and I was like, no, that was kind of bullshit, I thought. But I mean, otherwise, the guy was legit. I mean, he hit an eclipse, and I love how they didn't want to call it eclipse because that's Ember Moon. But they're like, oh, he did a moonsault into a neck breaker. That's like, oh, so he hit an eclipse. But I mean, legit. And, he looks good in this. I mean, I feel it adds, besides my little personal problem, I feel this adds a lot of legitimacy to Decay. And to me, Crazy Steve, he was the guy who was bumping around and all that stuff in this match, but he's so underrated. I think he's such a good wrestler, and his intensity and everything. I mean, besides like his, his goofy gimmick, whether you don't like that or not, I think, just in ring, Crazy Steve's legit.
Oh no, like yeah, like I really like that, like you said, and also Rosemary also did really really good job. Like she did like the green mist right there. You can see our boy AC Romero right there carrying that. That was funny though. I really kind of like that spot also because it's just
Yeah, and there was a couple dive spots in here too where they all stand there, and then it's like the baby faces, I guess, Decay, they were all going for a dive, and then the heels moved out of the way, and then they stopped, and they're like, okay. And I'm like, oh, finally, like somebody actually just walked away. And didn't, just stand there to catch them. But
it's true.
I mean, I guess it was a fun opening match, but to me, this should have been on Impact TV.
Yeah, like you said, it's like it was just a big showing for what was going to be like Black Taurus, I think, or Black Bull, however like they call it, is the same name. But I think that like they're just trying to use also, like you said, Tennille for the name value. Maybe Larry B, AC Romero, they need something to do for these guys,
Yeah.
and
The
it's
only
fine.
thing the only thing I would say with that is I feel Tennille was booked more strongly as Emma. Like Emma at least, was challenging for the title and like looked legit, at least like was winning matches. I feel like every time we see Tennille, she's always either getting pinned or on the team that gets pinned.
Yeah, well, and yeah, like he doesn't have a lot of like momentum, and she doesn't even challenge for a championship. But that was like the opening match, like you said, like DK wins, and also you said with the Eclipse from Black Bull, so that was okay. Like you said, I really think that like they have to just like maybe give Emma more chances. So now let's go with like a match that you would probably love. I know that this is what your first like your favorite match of the night, and that was like your boy Matt Cardona going with like against his best friend. Brian Myers, and also like the team of Hernandez and Eddie Edwards. This was a pretty decent match, I will say that. A little quick for my taste, but also like we got like the story. They're best friends. They're both like the podcast with the toys, and also like we got Hernandez, that is the force, the power in there, and Eddie Edwards is just like he doesn't go out of tune with this form. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like this. It started Brian Myers, like you said, Eddie Edwards. They kind of had a little feud. Cardona then came here, and they're setting up the whole thing where it's like, maybe he's pissed at him because Matt did his own thing, and normally their careers were just parallel, pretty much when they started in wrestling school. So they're trying to set up friction there, but this was good. I feel like this is just the start of the feud, though. Like, obviously, this wasn't like a blow off. So, like, that's why it was early on the card. And like you said, it didn't get the time. But I was actually surprised to see the team of Brian Myers and Hernandez win here. But I guess, like I always do say, if the heels win, that definitely means the feud's going to continue, because usually you're going to put a babyface over in the end.
Yeah.
So, and also, I feel like these two need to have a blow off match, just like a singles match. Their feud's not going to end. Cardona and Myers, that is, their feud's not going to end just in a tag team match.
I don't
what do you think? What do you think
of
what do you think of Cardona, though? I mean, he's big, and he kind of moves, I don't want to say a little slow, but like I feel like when he's going and he hits like the Rough Rider or Radio Silence, whatever, when he hits like his signatures, like, okay, this is the Cardona comeback, you know what I mean? Then he looks good, but I feel like just doing basic shit in there, he looks kind of like a little robotic, like a little slow.
Probably
Maybe is it just ring rust, you think?
Probably a little dusty, yeah. Like he hasn't and he hasn't been featured anywhere. Remember, ever since the release. So I think that like
he was on the AEW pay-per-view, and then
that, because like he hasn't really signed with any company. He doesn't have a contract.
No.
And thank you so very much that everybody that is watching, please comment, let us know what you guys feel. Like we're road break. We're we like to like do this. This is our show.
Let's be honest, family. I'm sure not a lot of you actually tuned into Impact, but that's all right. You can sit here and find out what you missed.
Yes, exactly. So like I feel that like Cardona, like he did okay, but actually like the ending for me was a little like shady, because like ever since like the halfway to the match, like they exposed the turnbuckle, and then like, Hernandez did that. Hernandez, like TNA's own, so like that's cool to see one of the old guys, and then Cardona just hit that, right, like he hit like the turnbuckle exposed, and then that allowed to also Brian Myers to just hit the discus clothesline. That seems to be like the finisher for him.
Yeah, and do you know what it's called? I want to know your opinion of the name, the roster cut.
Oh, well, you know why.
Yeah, I mean, do you like it, or do you think that's like a bullshit?
It, yeah,
okay.
Of course, because like, you have to acknowledge whatever that happens with you. And if you look at it like in a fun way, why not? Why not? Like, there you go. Like right there. And like they won. Cardona like loses. Like, I mean, like you said, it's good that he loses. Why? Because this is going to prolong. This is making
the only thing I wish like the turnbuckle pad wasn't taken off so early, because the ref usually is like, oh, what the hell is this bullshit? And then goes and puts it back on.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? The ref just kind of was like, so it should have been done maybe like a minute maximum before the spot.
But I know that you love the eye patch, so that's fine.
Yeah. It makes me think of Metal Gear Solid. So I'm like,
yeah. Well, also like see like you see like exactly like how Myers incorporates things. He's just good like when it comes to like bringing back like the toys, like all these things that he likes. Like stories like that he reads in DC World, all of that. Like it's good, and I like that. So it's pretty cool. And like now we're gonna talk about a promo about Matt Hardy, Private Party, that we're gonna like be challenging for the tag titles later on in the night. And he's like, "Oh, are you guys ready? Are we good? Like you guys confident?" And so I like this Matt Hardy though, like kind of healed, tactics, kind of like put the focuses on him, but like also like deviates to them, but like deep down he knows that he wants to be the main player. Do you like that?
Oh yeah, I mean obviously because how did he end this promo? He's like, let's go and get you guys on your way to be the number 2 best tag team of all time.
Oh
So
yeah,
he's pretty much saying like nobody's gonna beat him and Jeff.
Yes.
So I like this, and also it's gonna play into which spoiler, when they would lose the match later tonight because you knew they weren't gonna win it.
Oh yeah, no, like yeah, absolutely. Like I think that like if you thought that they were gonna win, I guess it could have been a situation that they could have won it, but like I think that like they wanted.
Yeah, and if they did, they would have lost it. I feel Wednesday night on Dynamite. Some team from Impact would have showed up and beat them because there's no way they would hold another promotion's main belts like that.
Yes.
Even though they're working together, I just don't see it happening.
Yes, exactly. So I agree with you. So, that was a good promo. Like I said, Matt Hardy, the one thing that I mentioned on the AEW review that is right there in the channel for the ones that are looking, don't forget to check it out. His ability of like reinvent, create new things, broken.
And like we said too, this is a character he also played in Impact a little bit as well. So I mean, this is something he does. Like he went in the closet. Oh, what suit do I want to wear today? Okay, big money man.
Well, he does it good though. Like he does it well. So like I like that. So let's move to the next one. And we know that like this is violent by design. This is a great story. This guy's also, but I feel that this should be the end of like mid-card feud. Should be the end of like mid-match. She should be like now main event. I don't know how they can fit in the main event, but I like this where this is going. Also like Diener going against Jake something. He's not cussing Jake anymore. He wanted to change his character. He got an invitation by Eric Young and also like the Diener to like be, hey, join us. We'll baptize you. We'll give you a new you. Did you like this match? I think it was pretty good. I wasn't, I don't have nothing bad to say about this match.
No, because I mean they started this feud, and obviously you have Diener, who, like you said, joins Violent by Design, and Jake, he's gonna want to stop his cousin, and there's gonna be a feud, and you have to end the feud. Why not give it a pay-per-view? Get you put Violent by Design over, and I like this, but like you said, what's next for these guys? To not just ignore the match and jump ahead to the future, but I would love to see Joe Doring. He has to go against, like, I don't know if maybe.
Eddie
Edwards. I was going to say maybe Scott D'Amore makes Moose put up the TNA title, in a match. Then he goes against Joe Doring, and Rich Swann causes him to lose it. So then Moose still looks strong, but Joe Doring wins or something. I mean, I don't know, but that's who I think you really got a star of this group, because Eric Young, yeah, he's the leader, but he can kind of be like an MVP. Where it's like, I'm the leader, but like the main guy here is Bobby Lashley or Joe Doring. But this is good. And I don't know if this is really the end. I mean, maybe Jake something is going to come back. Maybe there's going to be a feud. Maybe he's even going to join them. Who knows? But I didn't mind this match, though. But again, I feel this could have also just been on Impact, though.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like the how long the pay-per-view is a little too long.
It's like this could have been on it. Yeah, this.
Like especially if it is on an Impact Plus, like for everybody that has Impact Plus. So that's why, like, I feel that it should be just 2 hours. A little 2.5 if you want to do it like that, but not like like an NXT takeover, right? That we're going to be covering for the ones that like are actually watching. Thank you so very much once again. And did you like the move, like the sidewalk slam that he does is like black hole slam? I think it was.
Like almost kind of like Abyss a little bit. Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, so like Jay he gets something. He gets, what he got a win. But like right away, then Eric Young and Doring, they start like beating him up really, really good. Like, and then they put him through a table. So I like that spot too. Like, they look good. They look dominant, and that's how you should portray yourself. To like a heel team like these guys. So like
and that's what I mean. And Doring, to me, that's why he's the star. Like you just look at him there, and that's why I don't know if this feud is over. It's like you said, Jake did get the win, but then they beat him down like this. Is the babyface just gonna walk away? Like, well, at least I got my win. No, he's gonna want to get revenge from them putting him through a table. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't know if this is gonna end in a match with him maybe against Joe Doring, and Joe rips him in half, but we'll have to wait and see.
And I like how they put him through the table. That was a really nice spot too. But like you see in the middle, right there is Doring. So like that signifies that to me that he's the leader. He's a silent leader, but like, just Eric Young does the talking. That's how I can say it. So now let's go to like, hey, celebration the career, 50 years. Like Jean Paul has been loving this guy. We love him. He's one of like pretty much he created like hardcore wrestling. One of the guys. we respect the fact that like he got like what is blood taken out of one of his balls, like when thanks to like the King Lawler. So like Eddie Edwards, his wife come out and they said, hey, thank you for everything you've done for us. You pretty much, because of you, were an Impact. We were able to be better at our characters, and because of you we have this scenario that we have on Impact. So this is good. Like everybody just loving the career of Tommy Dreamer. I like this. So good stuff. And now let's go to the next match. This was good. Like this is for the X Division Championship. This is like like a triple threat. Now pretty much the triple threat revolver match. Well, what did you think of this? Because a lot of guys involved in this long match too.
Yeah, it was really long, and it was kind of confusing. Like you're like, okay, how does this work? But then, obviously once you start, watching it, you're like, oh, okay, and then it comes down to the final three guys, and this was good though. I liked it. I didn't like the booking on some of the people, and but I feel like they kind of. Yeah, I don't want to use the term like agenda, but they had like a plan. Okay, who do we really want to get over in this match? Obviously, there was a winner, and it's like, but some people, in a match like this, everybody can't last forever because then there won't be new people coming out. So, you got to pin some people quick, but this was really good. And this was a contender. If you take out the story, I would say of the main event, this could easily have been the best match of the night.
Yeah, like Daivari, we've seen Daivari already on Impact. He's also like on MLW. Suicide, TNA's or Impact Zone. Willie Mack, we've seen him in that Great Last Man Standing. Ace Austin, of course, like Gambit. And like he always is like the main event player. But you said Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel just re-signed with Impact. He didn't go to NXT. He didn't follow the Rascals. So, of course, like you just mentioned, they're going to give him like a good spot. They're going to book him good. Chris Bay, like former X Division champion. George Alexander, like this is for me like the brand new star. Why? Because Ethan Page is not there anymore. So like, what are we going to do? No more North. So he needs a North. He needs a North, and like
he needs to keep going North.
Yes,
and that's what they're doing. They're pushing him.
And Blake Christian, we saw him also like in the Cup, in the X Division Cup that we cover also. So but like breaking news for everybody, Fightful also reported that WWE just signed Blake Christian, so this was sent off. Like you said, this is a good, nice way to go out of Impact. Really good showing from this guy. But you said Suicide was taken out in the beginning. Then also like Blake Christian was actually taken out by Chris Bay. I like this. The interactions were good, but like you said, I don't know if I like the way that the match was supposed to happen. One in, one out, more like a gauntlet match. Don't you think? I think that was okay, but like I don't know if I really love this. And like you say, Trey Miguel was pretty much like the main guy portraying the whole situation, and George Alexander. Like I like the ankle lock. That's a beautiful move that he does. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about this.
Yeah, I mean, and then Willie Mack came out, and it's like, okay, because see, I knew they were pushing Josh Alexander, like he looked good when he teamed with Cardona, but I didn't really think that they were gonna, push him as hard and as fast as they was. And Ace Austin, to me, still, he won the, the X Division Cup, so it's like, okay, to me, is the number one contender. That's just who it is, but he wasn't even the one to win this thing. So that surprised me because I thought he was going to be next X Division champ because TJP, as good as he is, I feel like he's just not stale's not the right word, but I don't know. To me, it's just Ace Austin has just so much charisma. Yeah, and I feel like X Division champ would be so good, but
I don't want to say weak, but it's just, like he needs a little bit more like
and even Chris Bay, like I like his character. It's like a heel Kofi Kingston. It's how I wish Kofi would act. Like that would be legit, but Josh Alexander, I love him, like the Kurt Angle, like the hardcore wrestling type. I love that
he Chris Bay right there with the uncle.
Yeah, he doesn't really have like a character, but that is his character. Where he's like, I don't give a shit. I'm here to kick somebody's ass. I'm here to wrestle. Like that's his character. Almost like a Dean Malenko, kind of like how that was. But I mean, this is really good though. I like that. And he won the whole thing. Because I think him as X Division champ solidifies like he's not just a tag specialist. Like this guy, is the real deal.
Oh yeah, like like you said, he's also like Willie Mack. I like how like both of them like they pin him. See, when Willie Mack came out, like the only way to eliminate it was like Alexander and Trey Miguel. Both of them pin him at the same time, kind of like what they do to Nia Jax. So
yeah,
they see the same thing. But like you said, then the last guy that was coming out, it was Ace Austin, of course, Matt Fulton. That's the guy that like always like his insurance policy. And then they had a really good showing like with the Josh Alexander. But like you said, in the end, he's the guy that like they're trying to portray. And I feel that is the right thing to do because, all the good work that he did with like the North and Ethan Page, of course, he's not there anymore. We don't know where he's going to end up going. But like he had a good showing. And also like he put away also Ace Austin. Did you like the finisher? I like that move, like the underhook pile driver. Really nice move.
Oh yeah, I mean this guy is legit. Like you could use all, like I said, the Kurt Angle comparisons. He can be like the wrestling machine, whatever you want to call him. I mean it's perfect. What was the one spot where he did like a suplex and he had somebody on his back or something? Or
yeah, he did. So it was like he got Trey Miguel, and also like he had like Ace Austin. I think.
I mean the guy is just a
Right
machine,
there.
and that's why I think like him and TJP, like that match is gonna be money if
Oh,
if matches sold tickets.
oh yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And there you go. Like underhook right there, underhook pile driver. Really nice move. I really enjoyed. And like you said, 1, 2, 3, Josh Alexander gets the win. And rightfully so. I really feel that like he has a new good opportunity of becoming like a breakthrough star in Impact, as a singles competitor. Because of course we don't have like the person of Ethan Page anymore.
Oh yeah, and even if this was to face Rich Swann, I mean, we all know the feud is Rich Swann and Moose, but that would even be a believable matchup because he's that legit.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. So like good action on the X division, like the cruiserweights on Impact are also good. They've always been, historically, they're always been AJ Styles, all of them,
and that's kind of I like because normally X division, like you had called it, it's not actually cruiserweight because there's no like weight limit. But I like how it's mostly smaller guys, and then you'll get the big guy, like Abyss was X division champ, Willie Mack. The big guys do get in there. Yeah, Samoa Joe. So
it's more
I do like
an open division, but for guys that like is like fast paced wrestling.
But for guys who are big but they're still very athletic, it works for them.
And they give them an opportunity, which is good.
Yeah.
And now Josh Alexander, like we mentioned. So now let's go to the next match, people, and that's Fire and Flavor, with Tasha Steelz and also Kira Hogan going against Havoc and Nevaeh. This match was pretty decent. I think it was similar with what we saw on A Hard to Kill. What do you think? I think it was just exactly alike.
I have zero interest, or whatever good words you have to say about a tag team for Fire and Flavor. I was really hoping they would have lost this match. When they had that, celebration ceremony and that was just so awful and cringy. This team has just gone downhill very fast for me. They were a team that was a lot better when they didn't talk. And they just wrestled because the wrestling's not bad. I mean, Kira Hogan is better than Tasha Steelz, but once they started talking, it was just unbearable. It was like the Street Profits, but like turned up to 20. And then, but I really wanted them to drop it here. I thought that would have been okay. Yeah, we fucked up in the tournament. These two are pretty awful. Let's give it to Havoc and Nevaeh. And maybe I thought because of the lack of nobody's a real like ringleader. I feel in there, it's like, what do we do? Let's give it toys. Let's have it be Tornado. They can just beat each other up, which is what they did. It was really, the stuff they were doing looked pretty believable and pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, they swing it and they just tap each other with a kendo stick and it looks like bullshit, like Kelly or somebody swinging a kendo stick. This looked pretty
Havoc,
good.
Like, Havoc, yeah. Like, when Hogan was swinging like the kendo stick.
Well, what do we always say? You don't want to just compare somebody's skill off the size, but we say if you take Havoc versus Nia Jax, it's like, how is Havoc so much better?
Havoc is awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Havoc to me should be like Knockouts women's champion.
Yeah, well, she's a former Knockout champion.
Oh, okay, legit.
She's won because when she just came out, she was unstoppable. She was
legit.
Strong, and then it was Havoc. So yeah, she's been, and like you said, good interactions. The only thing, like you said, like they're not gonna take the titles away from Hogan and Steelz it because I just feel like it's just
no. I mean, I wish, but no.
And so like the last segments of the match is like they have they put a chair right there and like Havoc went right into it. And that took her out of the match. And then Nevaeh actually was she had like one of those signs that like is like for parking, for a specific parking.
Yeah.
Tasha Steelz like stole that, and then she did a cutter on that, and then she got the pin. 1, 2, 3, boom, and we still have the champions retain. Boom, one. There you go. There's our girls. No Fire and Flavor. They're still the champs. I mean, what other teams will you push though? Like they have a few girls that like they can actually use as teams. So maybe, Taya Barkley is not there anymore with Rosemary, but maybe Tenille with somebody else. That would be a good idea, don't you think?
No, I mean to me, but because Tenille, the way they portrayed her, she always loses. Like I said earlier, in the broadcast, she looks like shit. When's the last time she had a meaningful win? And then okay, no, so like you said, no. Taya, she's not there anymore for Rosemary. She's gone. So it's like, okay, who else is there? Well, there's, Jordan Grace, you just brought back ODB. Maybe they'll do ODB and Jazz. Maybe it'll be like a team of like veterans and something, push them. Because I don't know if you want to push Jordan Grace and excuse me, and Jazz right away because they were just in the tournament. But like you said, this division that does have a lot of women, there's really not a lot of tag teams.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's the one thing that like they need to start really coming up with something if they want to keep this division. But like maybe like get more girls. The one that comes out really quick is like Kimberly and Diana Perazzo, or maybe Karen, or Susan,
Yeah,
Susan and Kimberly. Maybe they let's go after all the goal, and then that way we can have everything. So now let's go with like Tommy Dreamer, boy, ECW's own. It's so
Paul Heyman was working for Vince McMahon the whole time.
Like remember like when he was gonna kill him with a blank check.
So I was gonna kill him at WrestleMania. JR talked me out of it.
Well, but I mean, he says he cuts a promo. He just says, hey, like it's gonna be a good match. I'm gonna give it my all, and Rick Swann probably thinks that like he has it all given to him. It's gonna be easy. Hell no. I'm going to give my best match, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. I've been doing it for 50 years because, like, on Tuesday, they celebrated his birthday. So, good promo by Tommy Dreamer. I like it. Then we go to the champion, Rick Swann, and he says in the exact contrary. He goes, hey, I'm going to I hope that he gives me his best because I'm going to give him my best. And, at the end, I'm going to, like, knife his teeth out of his mouth. So, like, you see, like, at least Rick Swann is taking this seriously, and rightfully so. And I like that because that's the only way that you have to do it.
Oh, yeah. You can't be like a stupid babyface and like, oh, this is such an honor to face Tommy Dreamer. No, he can put Dreamer over. But at the end of the day, I got to go in there. I got to whoop his ass and I got to retain my title.
Exactly. And,
I like that. And again, to make a comparison to Kofi, just because his character is so unbearable, this is Rich Swann because just they have similar wrestling styles and stuff. That's to me how, Kofi could have carried himself.
Oh, yeah.
He can be fun and lighthearted, but when you have to be legit, be legit.
You have to be legit, exactly. And the one thing also, like, is like, we just mentioned, like, you see dissension with Nevaeh and also Havoc, so that they seem like maybe a rivalry, which I don't know if it is the right thing to do, just because, like, you need those teams. You need them. So I don't know what they're going to do on that, but let's move to, like, the next match, Paul. TJP against Rajid Rahu with Shira, like, for the X Division Championship. This match was good, though. I did like it. Like, Rajid, like, his character, like you said, he's a little heel, funny at times, like, heelish tactics. But in the ring, he can actually go. Every time that I see him, he has good matches and good chemistry with TJP.
Oh, yeah. When we really started covering Impact, I was like, okay, Rohit, he's probably going to be like a joke kind of guy, like whatever. And then that was right when he won that was right when he won the X Division title.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay. Is this, like you said, is this a gender run? Like, let's see how long this lasts. And the guy kept putting on legit matches. And you're like, okay, damn, like this guy can actually go. He's really good. And, so I'm a fan of his. And like you said, every match we see, I can't tell you a bad one. And TJP is such a stud too. Like this guy's so good. Like we said, maybe the character is a little stale. I think it was better when he was Suicide, or at least when he has some
manic,
or like some kind of something to him. Because I feel it just comes down. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm just screwing with you. I'm the X Division champ. Like they're not. There's. I really don't know like what the heat is besides the title. Like usually it's not just for the belt. Usually, like, there's something else going on. Like, we need some kind of character from him.
Yeah, no, it is true. With Oshira, well, like, actually, the match took, like, a few minutes to actually get in the ring. Remember, like, Striker.
Yes, which that always takes me out of it. And I'm going to be honest, like, whenever I see that, I like pay attention, but I'm like, it's just so bullshit. It's like, okay, like, why doesn't the ref just ring the bell? Like they're fighting. Like, why did they both need to enter the ring? I know it's rules and I know it's kayfabe. You write the story however you want it to play out, but it's like, they started fighting. Okay, let me just ring the bell.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing, and also like with Shira, like he was trying to like cause some, advantage for Rajid. You saw like TJP in the ring, like finally the match started. Great calling for Matt Striker. I gotta admit, like we mentioned Hard to Kill. I wasn't too happy with the addition of Striker and D'Lo Brown. I'll admit that. But now that I keep hearing it, I'm getting behind it. Mostly Striker. He's not the same Striker as I saw in WWE, but like the guy really sells you the product. Every time that he speaks, he's selling you the product. Remember the line that you mentioned, the garbage wrestlers or the garbage like wrestling, all of that, like kind of taking a shot at Jim Cornette or like, oh, this is a beautiful sport, the most beautiful sport.
Yeah, and I love how he's like, I don't care if people make fun of me for calling it a sport. It is a sport. Like, that's how you sell it. Like I could hear Jim Ross saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So like he sold this match really really good. I think that like he is in the maybe more some people will hate me, but thank you for watching. Also, like we're seeing like
Yes.
a lot of people are watching. Don't forget to hit, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. But like he's actually as passionate as more Ronaldo. And I haven't heard that type of passion in a while because Ronaldo is not there in NXT anymore. We get Big Joseph, and Magnus Barrett is decent, and Bed is also. But this type of passion I haven't listened in a while. So like you see, he tried for the splash, for like the Mamba splash, he called him, or like of course it's the frog splash, but he has to call it something else.
Oh yeah, off of
the
Kobe Bryant, yeah.
that he has with he has a tag team with him, so that's why he called it that. But I think he put like the TJ lock. I love this lock. He's got like with the submissions that he does is an absolutely great wrestler. Unfortunately, he suffers from the Cesaro syndrome. No character. We know we sell it all the time. But in the end, like finally TJP was able to hit the Valab splash, and then he gets the win, and then he retains the championship, which, like you said, with Josh Alexander winning the match.
Well, he actually called it's the Mamba splash for it's for Eddie Guerrero and Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Kobe was called the Mamba.
Yeah, Black Mamba. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. See, like, well, at least we know the references, so that's good. Let's see. He retains the championship, and like you said, Josh Alexander got the win. So of course we had to like see this, and it makes sense. Like you said, it's a good match. TJP gets the win. He's also like on New Japan. I didn't know that, but
yeah. And I'm looking forward to this. I hope that they build this and they save this for a pay-per-view, and they don't give this match away. TJP and Josh Alexander away on free TV.
No, I hope not. No, it's probably for Rebellion. We're gonna be told Rebellion is around April, or we'll see what they do because they always have like the 10,000 specials. But we will hear for every single one of them. So now let's go to this one, Paul. 6-man tag in the women. You mentioned this. Jordan Grace, Jazz, and a returning ODB going against Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and Susan. This was, you need to feature the champion somehow. Deonna Purrazzo has a lot of name value. Am I wrong here for saying that?
Yes and no. She has name value, I would say, with the Impact Wrestling fans. Yeah. I would say outside of that, people are just like, if you just say to a WWE fan, Deonna Purrazzo, they'll probably who?
Yeah.
So that. And also, you don't need to feature her if this is how it's going to be. I would rather have just seen maybe a one-on-one match, like, Susan versus Jazz, and Deonna's out there and Jordan's out there, kind of like a manager, just at ringside type role. And then if you want to have, the ending we got, then so be it. But to have them in there and, to just lose, like, I don't know what that does. Does that start a feud? Is now Deonna going to be stupid and be like, oh, I guess I'll just feud with you, Jordan, for my belt for no reason because my partner got pinned? You know what I mean? I don't understand really what the whole purpose of this was.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like the one thing is just like you said, like they need like a clear paths for a lot of people, and Jordan Grace and Deonna going again, it doesn't make any sense. Just because they already won and they had
because if she would have been like, oh well, if Jazz can, because maybe Jordan could have said like, oh Jazz, you should go after Deonna, and she's like, no, I'm too old, but you should, Jordan, blah blah blah, and then it's like, oh well, I'm not giving you this match, but if Jazz can beat Susan, then I'll give you the match, and then then they do it that way or something. That would have been a bullshit thing. You should have to fight for your own match, but at least give it some meaning.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that like they have to do that. It would have made a lot more sense. But I mean, like they gave us this match, like I said, pretty decent. A new character on Susan, is Su Young.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't like that, because she's a new character and she's the one who got pinned.
Yeah,
or submitted rather. And it's like, but ODB came back. I thought if anybody from the babyface team was going to get the pin, it would have been her.
Yeah,
because it's like you brought her back for pay-per-view. Okay, like let her get the pin. But we didn't see that. We did see the grabbing though, so that's legit.
yes, that's true. I don't know what you think about Kimberly. I'm going to say she's a decent wrestler, but of course, under the shadow of like Deonna, that's what it's going to be. So like that is kind of like what happens. But I will wish maybe at some point Kimberly turns into Deonna and that becomes a feud. I wouldn't mind seeing just Deonna's not going to drop the title, but at least seeing something, because she did that dive and that was okay. I mean, of course, you always mention this in every video that we do. They have to do that at the spot that everybody waits. They dive, is all good. But in the end, the baby faces win, and we'll see what happens with Jordan Grace. I just want to know where she goes from this.
That's what I mean. I want to know the whole purpose. Is like Susan gonna like go back to Su Young and like kick the shit out of Jazz or something on Impact? I like, that's what I mean. I want to see where they go moving forward from this.
Yeah, I want to see what like they really have to do with this. So now let's go to the next match. This was like the semi-main event. this was a pretty decent match. I thought it was going to be a lot better. To me, a bit disappointed because all these three teams are really good. But like, I don't know if there was like time restrictions, and that's when, like you will mention, they make the pay-per-views too long, maybe cut a few matches, and then that will give you what, extra time for matches like this, so they can actually develop and get like really, really good. But like they didn't. Saving and then also the Cowboy James Storm went against the Good Brothers Private Party with Matthew Hardy. So like your thoughts on this, Mr. Lack?
Yeah, and I just want to address the one thing because now we're at the second main event. Or the first main event, rather. And, if I would have cut this pay-per-view down, it would have been the tag match, Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards. That would have been the opening match. Then I would have had the number one contender for the X Division. I would have had the X Division match. I guess I would have put Deonna and Jazz and that match on. And then this match in the main event. There's just, you could have cut some of these other matches, and it just, would have made the show better, I feel.
Yeah, it would have been a little better, but like, the developments of the match, like I said, it was okay, but it never really picked up for me. There was never like that action. There was never the drama, the excitement. It was just, Private Party at the beginning, then maybe Good Brothers a little bit. And then, but like never really like the match never took off for me. It just stayed in like second gear for the whole match. And I don't know why.
Yeah, which is surprising because, Private Party's so explosive. Chris Sabin is so good. I mean, Carl Anderson, he hits his moves. He looks good. Luke Gallows is, he's kind of like Diesel in the sense where I'm not going to say he's as bad as, Big Daddy Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
More polished Diesel. There you
go. Yeah, but he's not going to do anything, majorly athletic. I thought James Storm looked really good too, for his age. And he's not the skinniest guy, but he was moving really good. So, hats off to the Cowboy. But, this was legit. And, for them, I thought they looked good. But like you said, this match never really picked up. And even though they look good, it's like, oh, they're not going to win. And like I said earlier, I didn't see Private Party winning this thing, especially with the dissension from Matt Hardy. Like, because he's screwing them over. And when this relationship ends, they're going to turn babyface again, I feel. So I don't see them being a heel tag team champions with him. So, I knew the Good Brothers were going to steal a win, and that's exactly what they did.
Oh, yeah, no, it's true. And like, they did the cranberry juice, all those moves, like the moves that they do.
Oh, the gin and juice.
The gin and juice. Well, so there you go. a little.
I mean, I'm sure there's cranberry
but
in there.
Like, like James Storm did that, like he was kind of like a Razor's Edge, and then he turned out Isaiah Cassidy, I think it was. Like that.
Yeah, Eye of the Storm, I think he calls it.
Yeah, that was a really good move, and I like that. But like you said, like of course, then Anderson and also like Gallows, and Carl Anderson did a beautiful spine buster. He does really legit spine busters. I like that.
Oh, his spine busters, yeah, that is badass. He's as good as Bobby Roode and as good as Triple H ever was. Or yeah. All right, everybody like everybody will compare. Yeah, I pop for Triple H's more.
Yeah, Triple H's is one of the best, but like he did a really move. And then he takes the advantage. He pins the Cowboy, and then Matt Hardy's really pissed off. Of course, with Sabin and Storm, I didn't really see the addition. I think that the only reason that they did that is just because hey, this is Impact. We gotta push our guys too. It's all good. So that's why they did it. Yeah. But in the end, like the Good Brothers retain, have the goal. I mean, they have this thing with the Bullet Club, with all, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, all of that. They have to keep it that way because, they need to be strong. But this is the dissension that you're mentioning right there. Matt Hardy's pissed off. So you see right there, he's like, oh, so it's like, subscribe to Rope Break.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's just like, why didn't you subscribe to Rope Break?
Subscribe to Rope Break, yeah. You guys hear it right there.
He looked at Isaiah Cassidy's phone and he was watching our video and he's like, oh, are you subscribed too? And he saw the button was red and it said subscribe. He didn't click it. And he's like, why didn't you subscribe?
Yes, exactly. So you see the dissension. And once again, I got to admit, Matt Hardy, legit. Matt Hardy, I mean, he still is.
Now, I would have liked this match a lot better. Something you brought up, the addition of Chris Sabin and James Storm. While it's legit, I do like this tag team. Whether whatever's going on with what the heck's his name? The other one from Chris Sabin and who's his partner?
Alex Shelley.
Alex Shelley. Yeah, thank you. The name I was drawing a blank. Yeah, whatever they're doing with Alex Shelley, whether he's hurt or whatever, I don't mind this ragtag team, but. I feel it would have been better as a singles match, just Private Party and the Good Brothers. Because to me that was the main feud, and then like you said, they were just thrown in at last minute because last week there was interference or whatever.
Yeah, it did not didn't need the addition, so that's what I'm telling you. They did that in the wrong way. It should have never happened that way. But that's what happens. So now let's go to the main event. Finally, to celebrate the career, pay homage to Tommy Dreamer, Rick Swann, Impact, championship on the line. The match was, to me, good, but, at the pace of Tommy Dreamer. That's how I can just describe it. It's not going to be fast-paced. It's just going to be kind of like if Jericho's having a match. It's just slow. You take your time, 1 or 2 moves, go back to slow. So, for me, at some spots in the matches, I feel like I was, just going and playing a video in slow-mo. But, I mean, that's what they're capable of giving us. So what did you think?
Oh, yeah, they were definitely telling the story, Tommy Dreamer, just, everything leading up to this point in his career. And like you said, Dreamer had to work it at his pace. So it was almost like you were watching a tortoise and a hare race. Like, oh, one camera's on the tortoise and he's walking real slow. And then the camera cuts to the hare and he's running really fast, which is like Rich Swann, when he was taking over, his offense is obviously very fast paced. But then as soon as Dreamer gets in control, boom. It's like a, red light, and then it's like everything slows down and he works his pace, which I thought, would help tell the story, especially like when Dreamer got hurt and, what was it? The shoulder or the finger was dislocated.
Yeah. That's what the doctor came out. Yeah. Doctor came out and then he popped it right back up and you see that the calling of Matt Striker, you see him, he's gonna do it, and Dylan Brown, oh my god, he's gonna do it, and then you see no, he did it, oh god, he did it.
And even how Striker sold it, because Dreamer poured water over his hand, he's like, oh, he did that to see if he has sensation in his hand, in his finger.
Yeah, so you see that everything is at least in the whole time that the match was taking place, throughout the whole match, you see D'Lo and Matt Striker wanted Tommy to win because they were calling.
Oh yeah, I mean how could you not?
Oh my god, oh, it's his time, oh my god, and when he did the cutter right there, new champion, and that was good. I see at least they sold me into the story. And that's sometimes the beauty of professional wrestling. Not really per se, but the story that they're telling you.
You watch that. I'm going to be honest with you. Rewatch this match, which you don't have to because Rope Break never sleeps. We don't have time. But if you go back and you rewatch that on mute, no commentary, it won't feel as legit.
Yes.
Because they are selling you on the moment. If you had a bullshit commentary team like, oh, look at Dreamer, oh, look at him, oh, you'd be like, okay. If that was Michael Cole or Corey Graves or, one of them, Vic Joseph calling it, it definitely wouldn't have felt as legit. They sold you on this story. And that's what, like you said, makes pro wrestling, so great sometimes.
Because they need to sell you. The emotion is what triggers. The emotion is the main thing that, in some promotions,
when the emotion gets you, I knew Dreamer wasn't going to win. It's like, okay, you know what the story is. It's Rich Swann and Moose. But part of you goes, man, I really wish they put the belt on Dreamer. How legit would that be? Even if they did the same ECW bullshit where he wins it and he's like, I'll defend it right now. And Moose comes in and spears him in 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I agree with you. Absolutely. But you saw a lot of, I said, counters and then the Rings of Saturn, the arm bar, just playing the story, the finger is broken, is dislocated. So Swann is getting advantage on that. Dreamer was never able to hit the DDT. He just did the cutter. But in the end, the Phoenix Splash, remember that part that he did the super kick and he kind of hesitated. He didn't even hit it right. So you saw that Rick Swann was kind of taking it easy on Tommy Dreamer. He didn't want to really hurt him. So he gets the win, 1, 2, 3 Phoenix Splash, and right away as he's getting the belt, respect from Tommy Dreamer and all of that. Our boy came out. Moose, because of course interrupts the party. Uranagis or bookends or rock bottoms, both Swann and Tommy Dreamer. He gets beats everybody's asses here. He goes with the spear against Dreamer. He goes the spear against Rick Swann, and then he grabs a chair and then he starts attacking Rick Swann. Right there, boom. So you see, the feud is full-fledged now, finally. So I'm thinking Rebellion is going to be the end for this, for this match. It's going to be where it's going to be taking place. So what did you think about our boy holding these 2 belts?
I mean, great visual and everything, but that leads me to believe that Tommy Dreamer's thing isn't over. Because if Tommy Dreamer's career was over, it would probably be something where not that like a Seth Rollins, let's bring out the whole locker room, but he gets to stand in the ring and they'll do something legit. They won't have him get beat down. Now maybe he's going to go against Moose, and that'll just be the little in between that helps us get to the pay-per-view. And maybe, if Tommy Dreamer gets in his face and Moose like retires him, kind of like, I'm going to beat you, old man, so bad you'll retire. And if Tommy Dreamer's like, if I can't win, like Shawn Michaels, if I can't win, I don't have a career. You know what I mean? Kind of deal. So then they could do that match to set up for this feud. But, part of me wishes it would have just been the salute to Tommy Dreamer, even if he didn't retire, because I don't always feel you need to end something with a big hot shot run in, to set it up. But it is Moose, and I am a fan of Moose. So, I'll give this a pass. I like it.
And the visual of the bold belts made it for me. So, and that's the end. I don't see the thing with the Tommy Dreamer because last year they were just feuding. Remember Slammiversary?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So probably not, but I just feel that hey, he was in his face, oh well, you were in the middle of my title shot, so whatever, I took care of you, out. But that's what we got. So this is the end of visual that we get. So in perspective, I think really good pay-per-view. A little too long, like we mentioned. They can take maybe 3 or 4 matches and then have them on the Impact show, and that would have been a lot better. It would have been already done with this, but thank you for everybody that's been watching. Thank you for the support. I think that it's going to be great to keep watching Impact. They have nothing to envy WWE, AEW. They're putting a product that is as good. They have some good talent. They have some good storytelling. They have the elements to compete with everyone.
Yeah, the only thing I feel like they really lack is just maybe the production value. Obviously, they're not putting out TNA icons, Yokozuna, they're not putting out documentaries like that kind of stuff. But, just WWE, they have more polish and shine. But I mean, the storylines aren't much better. It's not like WWE is giving us, legit stories and legit feuds. So, Impact, I feel, is right up there. They just don't have the audience.
Yeah, exactly. So, please give it a shot. It's not bad. They have really good members, good elements, good performance. Actually, the storytelling is not bad. So, family, thank you so very much. Don't forget also tomorrow live NXT Takeover Vengeance Day, for the ones that don't have a Valentine or anything like that, we're going to be right there for you. It's going to be a great card. Finn Balor against Pete Dunne, all a great match. Finally 2 British guys, and also a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. The finals for the Dusty Cup for both men's and women's. So it's going to be a great show. Jean-Paul and I will be 15 minutes after the show is over talking about every single thing. So the one thing that we always ask, please subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. And where else can they find us in the social media world?
And then make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and like Juan mentioned, follow us and click subscribe on the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
So family, like I said, we'll see you tomorrow for NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...